All right, what's up, everybody? I'm Billy. We're here at the Chop Shop. We've been working in the garage for a little bit already, so we're already dirty. But today we got a couple projects going on. We got Gary back here working on his Ultra Sport. This thing you can see is ready for a full engine pull, and we're gonna put it into his other Ultra Sport. So that's exciting. Got the 240 chilling. Got the RS4 chilling. But today I'm here to tear down a 2.7 turbo Audi engine that I grabbed off of Craigslist for 50 bucks. So for 50 bucks, we're not expecting a lot, but hopefully there's enough to at least grab a good block off of this and start another engine build down the road, because I have a stage 3 KO Ford C5A6. So, you never know with these cars. If it blows up, I'm gonna have an engine ready to go right back into it. So we're gonna get into tearing down this engine, and I'll tell you a little bit about it along the way. So you can see our engine here. This is what you can expect for 50 bucks, I guess. It came with the engine stand also. The heads were removed, the cams were removed, or I'm sorry, the timing cover was removed. The cams were removed, all the cam journals and everything are gone. There's a little bit of secondary water pump and water pipes and stuff left on here, but pretty much it's torn down. So we just have some heads left, a block left, the top of the oil pan support. We have the oil pan pickup and stuff, but the actual oil pan the guy just kept. So we're really just trying to pull just a block off of this thing so we can get it honed and decked and cleaned up for a whole nother engine build. The guy told me that this had slipped timing, and once he slipped timing on it, he was just done with it and got rid of it. So I'm really hoping that we can get a good block out of this, and maybe there's just a valve eaten up or something. But to pull off a head on a 2.7 Audi, you need these special tools. And this is a 10 millimeter 6-point bit, and you'll find it at most auto stores, and it'll say it's a head bolt remover or head stud remover, and that's exactly what you need for these 2.7 turbos. They have a little bit more squared end keys than a hex bolt, so make sure you don't get an extended hex bolt, because that's not going to work. You need to get this specific tool to take off the head studs. So we're going to go through here and we're going to pull these head studs off, and once we pull the head studs off, we'll come back to you and maybe we'll find a dropped valve or something. You see Gary, he's making moves. He's got the engine stand out, or the engine hoist, because we're about ready to freaking pull the engine on the Ultra Sport, which we've been working on previously. So I'm sure you guys will see that here in the future. Really not that hard, just a little bit of time. So soon enough, we'll have a new heart in his Ultra Sport that's still at his house, because we just don't have space for it here. You can see here's my A6. KO Ford, E85 Motaza tune. It's got KW variant 3 suspension. We'll do a whole build breakdown on that soon. But I've got these head studs all loosened up. Didn't take much, just a breaker bar. But once we got them out, no big deal. In here, this guy sold me this block saying that it's slip timing, and I don't know if you guys can see in there. Doesn't look too bad in that one, This one here looks nasty. All kinds of debris and stuff on that first valve. So if I had to guess, that's the one I'm expecting to be bad, because the rest of these, I know you can't see all that well, but they don't look great because this has been an old engine, but they don't look as bad as that one in the middle here. So I'm thinking that's the one that slipped timing and ate up a valve. But we're ready to pull these off right now, and we're gonna check it out. Okay, so we pulled the heads off. Wasn't too hard. Once you get the right tool for the head studs, it comes right off. But overall, looking into these pistons, they said it had slipped timing. This is the one that looked really dirty and nasty. I mean, there's obviously some oil in these pistons, which should not be there. but you can, I don't know if you can see it that well on the camera, but you can still see the cross hatching on the honing on these sleeves in this piston. So it's obviously not that bad there. You know, we're gonna tear it down more and flip this over, get these pistons out and really assess it. But going around to these 6 pistons, you know, this one here, I did see, I'm gonna try and get you guys the right lighting and see this. But you can see right up here, that long straight line all the way down the sleeve there in the block. That's not a good sign. So, you know, we're gonna see if we can get that thing milled out of there and get it all smooth again, because obviously that's not what you want in an engine putting it back together. These don't have oil in them. I don't know why one side had oil and one side didn't, but whatever. We're gonna keep tearing this thing down and get it to a bare block. So these heads, they didn't look that bad either. You know, I don't see any really bad bent valves or anything, you know. So I don't know where it slipped timing and collided it, but these things, this here was the one that was all dirty and bad, and you know, these do look real weird and burnt up, but I don't know, it doesn't look like they made contact anywhere really, so that's, I guess, a good sign. But yeah, so there's those. You know, I don't know, I don't see where they hit them, but we're just gonna keep going. All right, so we're trying to get a little better lighting in here. You know, hopefully you guys can really see the little bit of scoring going on in this piston. Mostly right at the top and some right down here at the bottom. You know, there's definitely some stuff that's not looking too good on this one. Maybe that's what was happening, you know, just not good compression anymore, but we're ready to flip it and pull these pistons out so that we can really actually clean this block and get it ready for the machine shop. So we got some oil pans down here. I'm gonna try and do this without making a huge mess. Let's see what we got. Oh boy. Yep, and we are spilling. Oh, get that one, Gary. That's still leaking? Smooth. Alright, that wasn't the smoothest, but... Okay, got the engine flipped. Wasn't the cleanest, obviously, but it's done. Now we gotta take this upper oil pan off and all of these returns and baffles and stuff. Kind of concerning up in here. There's definitely some stuff. Some metal, some red stuff. Looks like it was there when the engine was running. But hey, that's what $50 gets you on Craigslist. So we're gonna go ahead, remove all these oil pickups and take these bolts off of here and remove this whole upper oil pan. And then once we do that, we're just trying to get down to the cam, release the pistons, get down to just a block, bare block, so we can clean it and get it ready for a full rebuild. Okay, we ripped that lower oil pan off. It really wasn't that bad. A couple 10 mil bolts, pulled it right off, and now we're pretty much done. I gotta stop here for the day because I don't have the right little piece of hardware to get the bolts off of the connecting rods at the bottom of the piston on the crankshaft, so I just gotta leave it. But we did a lot of work. We got pretty far. We got as far as I hoped to today. I mean, these heads are done, they're off. Here's the lower oil pan. You can see all the little 10 mils lining the whole bottom of it. Also these ones right out here, you gotta take out. Just the whole perimeter of it is bolts. Really easy once you get into it. Everything came off pretty simple. It's all just a matter of unscrewing everything. But the block doesn't look that bad. I mean, it spins freely. There's no grinding or anything. So we didn't see any metal fragments or anything taking the lower oil pan off, and the oil returns, you know, they had some stuff in it, but I think it was all from after the block had been taken out of the car, because it looks like old oil, like oil pan sealant, like old sealant that was from some gasket that I imagine just he had pulled off and it had gotten in there, or maybe it got in there while it was running and that was the problem. But we're gonna get the right hardware to take off these bolts. I'll show them to you right under here. They are all these ones, those little, they're 6-point lugs that I gotta get out of there. So these 6-point bolts connecting the connecting rods to the pistons, as well as holding the whole entire crankshaft on, is what I have to go and get a special tool for. I just don't have one. So as soon as I get that, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna take all those bolts off. But for now, that's how she's gonna sit.